much to the chagrin of Tony Damiani. Today we are honoring Tony Damiani.
Dear Uncle, you know, the longevity has a part to play in this, but time, talent, and treasure, when you combine it with 90 years, is the making of a pretty good party, wouldn't you think? And I think that's what's going on here. When I think of age, and that's what spurs a lot of this, I'm reminded of some 40 years ago, and I do remember this directly, the Johnny Carson Show, and for some of you younger ones, that was a show host on The Tonight Show preceding Jay Leno. Had an old fellow on, he was 102, and this old fellow, back then it was rare to be 100, much more so than today, and Johnny was probing him for things like, what do you drink, or just, you have a girlfriend, some of the things that he was looking for just to get a laugh. The old guy figured out what was going on, and what Johnny was after, and he comes off and he says, wait, let me stop you. He says, I don't feel like 102. He says, in fact, I feel like a young man that just has a whole lot of things going wrong. And, you know, Tony, that's the way I look at age, and I think that that's the way that you probably are looking at it too.
Things are going wrong.
Huh? What do you say?
Everything's going wrong.
You know him best for the years that he's been in Chicago, but I've known him longer than anybody else in this room. I've seen him often when I was growing up. I attended your wedding, Tony, in 1958. You were my sponsor in confirmation. You did a good job. What else did we do there? Brookfield Zoo, do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, you brought, Linda, you were on that. And I know that was before 1958 because you had a different woman with you. So that goes back a number of years. But if you get the idea, Tony has been a part, just the center part of our family for so long, for Linda and myself. In fact, our family, as you know, I think F-Stop is what I heard you know, and I know that you're a part of that. He's chronicled our family over all these years with his picture taking, and we appreciate it. We truly do. But here's really a little bit of the Des Moines side of the story. You have the Illinois side. He's the patriarch of our family, and you've been that now, Tony, since 1978 when we lost your dad, my grandpa. He went on. You went to Dowling High School, and I think I saw that in the back of this program here. It's an all-boys Catholic school, and I know that you were brilliant. And the reason I know that is I went to that same school, and a couple of the priests were still there, and they referred to you to me, and it was in a disparaging way. It was mean-spirited. Thank you, Tony. You went on to Drake, and so did I. But I didn't meet anybody there, so I don't have any stories about Drake. There does continue to be, and Tony's from the east side of Des Moines, there does continue to be, and I was back there quite a bit with my mother, a lot of folklore on the east side of Des Moines about Tony, and Tony's closest friend growing up was my father, his brother, and a couple of Irish girls that were sisters that they used to date. Now, everything that I know about this is unsubstantiated, so possibly when he gets up here, you might probe him into giving us a little information on that. But after all these years, and it has been quite a number of years, there's still some talk. You know, a random comment that I would make, has any of you ever known anyone that has a better control of the King's English than Tony? Absolutely, and I'm amazed at you, Tony, even still to this day. Everything that Tony will tell you is in the most precise of English. I say this in the most serious way. Never any slang. I've never heard Tony use any slang. So I've made up for that on the other side of the family. That basically, Tony, is what I do. Michael, thank you for putting this thing together. I know that we're on a time constraint here, and I'm not going to push the limit here. I'm going to give some time back if I can. But I appreciate what you've done in putting this thing together, and I really, and coming to Linda and myself as early as you did so that we could make arrangements to come in here, because this is so important to us to be in here. I cannot tell you how many times that Tony has come to our events, my wedding, just all these things over the years, the family reunions, my mother's birthday, and just again and again, and always that trek from Chicago going over to Des Moines. But if there's something going on, Tony's there. So we had to be here. We had to be here for this. And I'm speaking for Linda when I say that. We're proud of you, Tony. The whole family's proud of you. And I guess I would speak to even to the people that couldn't be here today, and how proud they must be, and smiling down on you. Norma, your wife, your dad, Dominic, your mother, Mary, my father, your closest friend, your brother, Francis, Jack, your brother, your sister, Mary. All of you, I think if you look up, you're going to get a kind of a warm feeling from the smile that probably is coming down on you, Tony. One thing I would leave you with here is I've really enjoyed this, I really have, and I would ask Cliff or whoever follows you, I guess Wes is going to be you, to continue to push this out, because in the year 2020 I'd like to be invited back. That's going to be a real big year. So, my good uncle, happy birthday to you.
When Tony first arrived at the resale shop to start his volunteer orientation, his first words were, "What can I do for this organization? What's the most important thing that I can do to help?" Well, most volunteers start out and they say, "Well, I can do this, or I can do that, but I don't want to get my hands dirty." And that might be good for most volunteers, but Tony always seems to put the organization's needs first before himself. Quick to make friends and help others in the store, Tony has taken on many projects at the store, including the pricing and tagging of clothing, revamping our 45s and 33s. Oh, for you younger ones, those are records.
I knew what
are records?
They're bigger CDs.
Things you shred.
Tony also sorts and categorizes all of our holiday selection of merchandise down in the dungeon, which we refer to as our basement, because it's very dark and dingy down there, but Tony still doesn't complain and go down and does it anyways. But he really does best is the customer service. I see him roaming the store and looking out for customers that may need that special item. And if we don't have it, he'll suggest an alternative. And if we don't have that alternative here in the store, he'll suggest another store that might carry it. Well, all that effort goes into our mission at the resale shop, and that is putting our proceeds towards the hospital's hospice program and our behavioral health center, which takes care of drug and alcohol addictions. Not only, Tony, are you a dedicated volunteer, but you're also a representative of the Elmhurst Hospital, for which you spent a lifetime of helping people. Tony, thank you again for all your help, and happy birthday.
Tony and I have known each other for quite a while. I've been in the camera club, I can't remember how many years, and Tony's been there too. I've been the president, and Tony's been the secretary. Maybe longer than both of us want to be, I don't know. But we're a very unorthodox club, and roles are undefined. And so he's called the secretary, but his main job is collecting money. He's kind of a very distinguished hitman, you know. He puts the squeeze on these people, and after watching you guys, I know where he gets it. He's the only person in our club that has a degree in photography. He's got a 2-year degree at the College of DuPage. And he and I went over there in the transition of digital to digital. That's how far we go back, you know, when we had dark rooms. And Tony, of course, loved the dark room. And he had his degree from COD, and we went back there, and he says, let's go on a tour. So he took us in the private areas of COD and in the dark rooms, and everybody still knew him. It's like, "Hey, Tony, you know, you want to borrow something?" They were like, lend them cameras and things, you know. They don't do that to me. But Tony has been, had some great pictures at that time. I still think of that one picture he took over Chicago. It's kind of a setting sun and smoke is coming out of the buildings, and it's really gorgeous. I haven't seen it for a while though. At any rate, Tony's had some new roles at the club. Sometimes we're short of judges, and so we recruit Tony to judge the pictures. He's a little reluctant, but he always does it. And now he has another role, and this picture was taken by a club member, Not me, unfortunately. But when we do some portrait sessions, and every club dreams of having a little older gentleman with a white beard. Because then you can put any kind of hat on him. You know, he could be a cowboy, he could be anything, and it looks great. So Tony is our guy with the white beard now. And this was one of the shoots we had at the club, and somebody had it. Is that your hat, Tony? I
think so.
You also have that Creek fishing hat too, right? That we used too. At any rate, so he has both those roles, and then at the last meeting, he was a judge, and one of the pictures coming up was a picture of him. And he's like rolling his eyes. You know, how do I judge my own photo? You know. But at any rate, Tony's been a terrific compliment to our club. He brings dignity and grace to the club, something that we desperately need. Thank you, Tony. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Tony. It's my pleasure to share with you some remembrances and to share them with the Rotary Club members, your family, your friends, and they're excerpts of letters that we've received from colleagues and friends from Elmhurst Memorial Hospital. The full text of these remembrances are contained in this album, which our mutual friend Agnes gave to me, so that you have these, and hopefully Ron and Patrick can, and Jim, you can do your letters up so we can include this for Tony. I'm going to do, these are excerpts. Dear Tony, when I say that you worked with me, I mean that you were the formative influence in my professional life. In 1979, you agreed to promote a 28-year-old young man to the position of director of the Outreach Center. I don't think this was something that was very popular at that time, but you had championed the project for 7 years. It was an idea that people rallied behind, that few people rallied behind. The first drug treatment program in DuPage County. And you believed in me, or shall I say, in my potential. I was a young professional with zeal and just a bit of impatience. You, on the other hand, were the seasoned professional with patience and wisdom. You imparted both of these to me during the 5 years that we worked together. When times were tough and the center's future looked uncertain, you would always respond in measured and creative ways. You taught me to be patient and analytical. You taught me the importance of believing in an organization's mission and working hard to realize that mission. Happy birthday, Tony, from Paul Gustowitz. Dear Tony, a great milestone in the life of a great guy. I can say this because you and I have known each other for 50 years. I remember in 1960 when you joined the leadership team at Elmhurst Hospital. There was Dr. Hygen, our administrator, Dorothy Gioielli, and me. We made it as a team. We were a great team. We accomplished a lot of things together in bringing the hospital into the 21st century. Congratulations and best wishes, Bob Magnuson, former president and CEO. Happy 90th birthday. You served the hospital and community with distinction. Your community service is an example for others. You have given back to the community that supported you and your family with a rich story that you have written with your life. Best wishes, Leo Franza, President, CEO of Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare. Dear Tony, you brought a happiness to all of us. You were like a ray of sunshine. I want to thank you for helping to make the hospital a pleasant place to work. I treasure the fellowship that we enjoyed. Best wishes, sincerely, John Freeman, former Vice President of Personnel Relations from Idaho. And he said, don't think you're an old man yet. He said, I'm 93. Dear Tony, your involvement not only with the hospital, but with the commitment to make Elmhurst a wonderful place to live and raise a family was so evident with your involvement with the Elmhurst Rotary Club. You left a wonderful legacy of doing what was right for the hospital and the Elmhurst community. You can be so proud of a wonderful life of service to others. I know that you will be celebrating, wow, this doesn't fall into place. You must not be feeling good. I know you will be celebrating with your suit, tie, and white shirt, properly attired as always. I think this is the first time I've seen Tony in a meeting without a tie. You are a classy individual and can be so proud of your contributions. Celebrate and enjoy your 90th birthday, Fred Brown, who was the executive vice president when Tony worked at the hospital, from Scottsdale, Arizona. To my friend and mentor, initially it was during our mutual tenure at Elmhurst Memorial Hospital, from my arrival in 1980 until your retirement in 1985, and then again when you co-sponsored me for Rotary in 1980. I cherish our friendship and continuing opportunity to learn from you. That's my letter, Tony. As president, dear Tony, as president of the Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare, how am I doing?
You're doing great.
Okay. As president of the Elmhurst Memorial Healthcare Retirees Social Group, and on behalf of all of us in that group, I want to wish you a great day, filled with joys, and may the year ahead be one filled with blessings. Together with Nancy Borngraber, you were instrumental in the organization of our retiree group. For that, we are very thankful. I trust that the good memories from all those years have been incorporated into a wonderful memory quilt of your life, which you can continue to enjoy.
Now, this is a great treat for me, not only because of my affection for Tony, but also for the second time since I've been Rotary president, I get to be the mayor. And I get to present to Tony Damiani a proclamation, which I will not read, except to say that from the Executive Office of the City of Elmhurst, this proclamation that ends with these words: "Now therefore I, Peter P. Damiani III, Mayor of the City of Elmhurst, and a member of the Elmhurst Rotary Club, do hereby proclaim June 17th, 2010, as Anthony D. Damiani Day in the City of Elmhurst, and acknowledge with the deepest appreciation the long and positive contributions he has made to the success of our city, and do extend to him best wishes on the occasion of his 90th birthday." Tony, I think you better come up here and get this. On behalf of the mayor, I present to you our proclamation, Anthony D. Damiani Day. You stay right here. We have something else we have to do. It is the club's intention to present you with a gift. And the gift is, to some people, something inconsequential or something intangible. It's points. Our club has accumulated a substantial number of points. Paul Harris contribution points, which means today our club, the Rotary Club of Elmhurst, is presenting to you a Paul Harris Fellow Award. And we're going to present this to you so that you can present it to your son.
Oh.
Mike, this is the third one of these in our family. The first one was mine, the second was your mother's, and now this is for you. This is a fellowship in the Paul Harris Fellowship Group. It's the elite of Rotary. It costs $1,000 to buy your way in. So you're getting a bargain.
It's okay, I'm pretty close to that $1,000 already, so.
Okay, but thank you ever so much
Thanks a lot.
for everything.
both here, why don't you both say what you want to say?
Well, I'm overwhelmed. I was going to make a speech and I won't. Except to thank so many people for putting on this this luncheon and these fine words. I'm almost speechless. When I walked in and ran across my nephew standing in the doorway and my niece, I thought, what's going on? They should be 1,000 miles away from here. And then when Ron Capek and Patrick McDonald showed up, I suspected something. And I didn't know quite what to do. And this guy here said to me, I wasn't going to come. I have a cold. And I've been blowing my nose all day. But I said to Mike, I don't think I'll go to Rotary today. He said, you've got to go. And I said, why? And he wouldn't tell me. And then I smelled a rat. But anyway, here I am, and I'm glad I came. I thought from what Bill Von Stein told me the other day that I was responsible for a program here, and I wasn't ready to give one. And so I called Cliff this morning saying, what's going on? And he wouldn't tell me. And then I saw the rat. But anyway, thank you ever so much. This club has been wonderful to me over the years. When I retired from the hospital, and I was the hospital's representative in Rotary, as that, all my Rotary fees were paid. I took them on privately because I wanted to keep in touch with the community and with the good people in Rotary, and I have. And it's been a great trip for me, and I thank all of you, and I love you very much. And I give you all a big kiss, but you all catch cold. Thank you ever so much.
We have a pretty small family. It's mainly my dad, myself, and everybody else is kind of spread out. And I was thinking of a way to celebrate his birthday. And as he mentioned, this is really his family. It's been his family for such a long time that I didn't think of any, couldn't think of any better venue to do this than to do it with you guys. So I want to really thank, obviously, my cousins Jim and Linda for coming out, Patrick and Ron for coming out, and for all the people that helped to put this together. Bill Von Stein, Lee Strauss, Lida, Jenny is out there, she helped too. Everybody has been really great, and I really appreciate you all attending and celebrating this with me.
All right, we've got a few minutes, so we'll go ahead and adjourn our meeting, and we'll sort of let you take the risk of shaking Tony's hand.